4 minutes. Now, in order for this to create... What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another video. So the Mavic Air 2 has been out for just a few months, and we know it's loaded with tons of different features, including the hyperlapse modes that you're usually going to find on DJI's more of their premium drones. But in today's video, what I want to do is walk you through each and every mode of hyperlapse that the Mavic Air 2 offers, show you how to set the parameters, and then of course give you guys an example of what that hyperlapse is going to look like. We're just going to go ahead and jump right into this. So of course you're going to want to make sure that your phone, your controller, and your drone is all turned on. They're all synced together and you're ready to fly. Then once you're in there, you're going to either have a red circle or a white circle depending on what shooting mode you last left in. Either case, you're going to either tap the film strip right above that circle or the little white square. This is where you're going to go to change your shooting mode, and you should be pretty familiar with this by now. But what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and tap on it, as you can see, and then what we're going to do is on the right hand side, you can see we've got video, quick shot, hyperlapse pano. We're going to click on the stopwatch that says hyperlapse. So go ahead and tap on that. And it's going to load all 4 different types of modes that the hyperlapse offers, or that this drone features. We've got free, circle, course lock, and then we've also got waypoint. Now we're going to go through each and every one of these from top to bottom. We'll get those started, but what I want you guys to pay attention is, if you look down towards the bottom of the screen, you can see that we've got a duration, we've got frames, interval length, and max speed. Pay attention to these because every mode offers these parameters that you can adjust to kind of suit and fit the hyperlapse to what you're looking for. Not to mention, it also allows you to look at the time and make sure that you've got enough battery power and it doesn't cut it halfway through and ruin the hyperlapse. So now I know I said that we're going to start with circle, but we're actually going to be starting with free flight, and most of the descriptions of these flight modes are going to be pretty self-explanatory. So free just allows us to freely fly the aircraft wherever we want while it creates a hyperlapse video. Now with this, you're going to want to make sure that you're making nice steady movements, that way you don't end up with some like jittery footage, and just the free flight may just take some practice in order to get a nice smooth hyperlapse video out of it. So you can see right here we've got free selected, and we're going to go ahead and minimize kind of the information chart right there, and we're going to do a 2-second interval here with check mark, and we'll do a 5-second. It takes about 25 shots of photos in order to create 1 second worth of hyperlapse. So we're going to do 5 seconds worth, which is going to give us 125 frames, or it's going to require 125 frames. And we'll do let's slow this down just a little bit to about 2.2 miles per hour here. And the cool thing about free flight, or most of these modes as we go through them, is you're still going to be allowed to select something on the screen in order for it to track if you wanted to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of highlight this bridge here, and you can see that it's centered that bridge and is going to allow me to still free flight the aircraft but keep locked on that bridge. So we're going to go ahead and tap the red circle to get it started. And you can see right here it says 4 minutes and 8 seconds and counting down. It shows you 2 of 125. That's how many frames you got. And then the +1 second, it's what your interval was set. So +1, it's going to take +1, +1, it's going to take those photos. So if we do just some movement here, we'll just move slowly forward, get closer to the bridge, and we'll start moving up as well. So we're going to kind of get an upward pan down type of hyperlapse when you slow down, because it's probably going to end up with some jittery footage here. So you can see we just hit 26 out of 125. That's given us about 1 second worth of hyperlapse video. And we're going to go ahead and stop it here just because I'm not going to hold this for about 4 minutes while it does this. So we'll stop right there. We'll hit stop, and you can see now it's going to create that video. So the next one that we're going to be looking at today is going to be the circle mode, and it's just like I said, you're going to pick a stationary target. So like maybe I found like a barn, or maybe you have somebody like on a jet ski or something along those lines, and you're going to select that on your screen, and then you're going to click on start, and it's going to circle that subject for the amount of set duration that you've set. So we're going to go ahead and again minimize this little information here, and we're going to tap on where it says select target, and you can see we've got the same thing, interval, length, speed, and on this one you can either do clockwise or a counterclockwise setup. So we're going to raise this up a little bit. I'm going to pivot the camera down, and again we're going to use the bridge as our example for this one. So we're going to go ahead and select it on there, and now it's got the bridge selected as a subject, and it's going to lock onto that, and once we click start, it's going to start circling it. So what we're going to do is let's do the same thing, 2-second intervals, And then what happens if we bump this all the way up to 15, 20? You can see right here where it says current battery level may be insufficient for current shooting task, adjust the shooting duration. So it's basically saying me, hey, you don't have enough battery on this, you may want to put a new battery in this, or just check it and make sure that you're gonna have enough. So what we're gonna do is we're actually going to do a 2-second interval. We'll do, see how much we can get out of this. It's saying we've got about 7 minutes left. So we'll tap on 4 seconds, which will take about 3 minutes and 20 seconds with a total of 100 frames. Click on the check mark, and then we're gonna go ahead and click tap on the record. And now you can see that it's starting to circle that bridge since we're locked on it and create that hyperlapse video. So again, with that one, here is an example of what a circle hyperlapse looks like. So next up we have what they call a course lock mode. And what this is it can be a little bit confusing, especially if you've never used course lock on a drone before, but essentially allows us to lock the drone to fly in a set direction while photographing or videographing something off to the side or something else as it flies by. So for example, what we're gonna want to do is if you tap on a little information, aircraft will fly in a preset direction to shoot and create a hyperlapse video no matter its initial heading. So we're gonna minimize that. And what you're gonna want to do, because this can be a little bit tricky, is you're gonna want to point the aircraft in the direction that you want the drone to fly, and then later adjust what you want to videotape or photograph, whatever it is. So what you can see right here is we've got a course lock, or we've got the lock course, and it's currently set in an unlocked state. So what we're gonna want to do is, just for example, we're gonna go ahead and point the aircraft. Let's have it fly this way towards the road. We're not gonna go over the road, but we're gonna go towards the road. And then we're gonna tap on the bottom left where it says direction unlocked. We're gonna tap it to where it says locked. Now, what the drone is going to do is it's going to fly that direction no matter if we turn the drone or pivot the camera. However it is, it's gonna continue to fly on that flight path. So, again, just like before, we've got 2-second interval, 5-second length with a 1.3 mile per hour speed. Now that we've got that, we're gonna go ahead and turn the aircraft just like this. And we're gonna pivot the camera a little bit down. You're gonna want to adjust what it is that you want in the frame. And then you can go ahead and tap on record now, or if there's something else that you want it to lock on as it does that flight path, again, you can circle a box on the screen and have it lock onto that target. Now when it flies that straight flight path, it's going to continue to rotate and keep that in the frames. Kind of like how a circle works, but instead of it actually circling the subject, it's going to just bypass it and then keep kind of a nice, kind of like a nice panning, I don't know what you call that, like a U-shaped pan, I guess, if you, for lack of a better term. So in any case, once you've got that, go ahead and tap on to record and let it do its thing. And you can see again, it's gonna take 4 minutes and roughly 10 seconds. Here is an example of a completed course lock hyperlapse. The last hyperlapse mode that the Mavic Air 2 supports is something called Waypoint, and you can have up to 2 to 4 waypoints in order to create that hyperlapse. So you're basically predetermining a flight path in order to create that video. So you can see that we've got it right here, and it says set multiple waypoints to generate a flight route. Aircraft will automatically fly along the flight path or flight route to shoot and create the hyperlapse video. So we'll minimize that. And you can see down at the bottom, we have these little boxes that we can use to kind of set the camera and the direction of the drone that we want it to add in the hyperlapse. So if we're gonna go ahead and back this up a little bit, and we're gonna pan the camera down just a little bit. Now to add a add a waypoint, get your first frame set up and then tap the little plus sign down at the bottom. Once you've done that, it's gonna set that as the initial heading right here where it says camera rotation angle too small, adjust camera rotation angle. Let's see here. Okay, so it did add it, but we're gonna move on to the next one. Now what it's saying right there is it's because I'm trying to add a second one where the rotation angle was this exact same, so it can't, there's nothing for it to change. So what we're going to do is we're going to move forward. And you can see right next to where it says camera rotation angle 0, parentheses good or not good, it'll change depending on how it thinks that movement is going to turn out. So let's go ahead and move it a little bit more. See how far we can push the good. Yeah, this will work. We'll do it right there. Now, once you've got the all of your 5 or up to 5 of your frames set, what you're gonna want to do is tap on the little up arrow. Normal sequence, you can tap on that, or if you want it to reverse. So if you wanted it to start where it's at and move backwards, or if you wanted to come back to the first initial point and then move forward, you can choose reverse sequence or normal sequence. Same scenario, 2-second intervals, all the way up to 15 looks like. And again, we got that current battery level. We'll click check on 2 seconds. Length, let's go ahead and click on 5 seconds. We'll click the check mark, and it's gonna take about 4 minutes and 10 seconds to complete. So we're gonna go ahead and we'll just do normal sequence. We'll click on the record button. You can see the aircraft rotate, and then it's gonna automatically come back to where it started. So here is an example of that hyperlapse. Now you might be thinking that we have all 4 of these different shooting modes, but what was the big hype with the Mavic Air 2? That's right, it was the 8K shooting mode. Granted, there had been reviews of it being stuttery footage or kind of like choppy footage just because of how long it took photos to take. It was like every 6 seconds. But again, to activate the 8K mode, what you can actually do is tap up on the settings, which is the 3 dots in the top right-hand corner. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go over to camera. And you can see right here where it says format movie MP4 resolution, you're gonna wanna change that from 1080p to 8K. Now this does require a ton of room, especially if you're doing a bunch of different time lapses, because it's shooting everything in an 8K format. Not to mention, with a recent firmware update from DJI, all of these modes can now be shot in raw shooting mode. So you can see right here, same scenario, under the same camera settings, you've got photo type off, JPEG, or RAW. You're gonna wanna choose RAW if you want that raw footage so you can go in and make further tweaks. And that is gonna wrap it up for today's drone tutorial. Thank you guys all so much for watching. I hope you liked it and you got something out of it. If you did, be sure to give the video a big old thumbs up and a share. And of course, don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell if you guys don't wanna miss out on any type of future uploads. And we will see you on the next one. Peace. 4 minutes. Now, in order for this to create,